welcome to episode 35 of the Full-Time Banter Show. Sadly, we're not the Oreo Fantasy Football this week, so we cannot give you the regular dunking, but still, you're here tonight with the men who are the islands in the stream of fantasy football. Firstly, myself, the man who puts the massive chew sets into massive chew sets. And luckily for you, I'm still staying alive. It's me, Liam. Joined as ever by the man to my right, the man with the stats, who sometimes sounds like he's jive talking, but still, how deep is your love for this guy? It's Tarek.
Hey.
And my brother said I couldn't get this next song title in, but I managed to. In a tragedy bigger than the New York mining disaster of 1941,
Wow, okay.
there's no Riz. So please get well soon, mate, because we miss you. And stay tuned, pay attention to our words, because we want to make sure you win again at the game of FPL.
Wow, excellent. Well done.
Yeah. Name the band team.
I'm thinking immediately, Bee Gees.
Damn right, my
Bee
friend.
Gees.
Damn right.
Islands in the Sun was done by somebody else, a female.
Kenny Loggins and Dolly Parton, but they... not Kenny Loggins, Kenny Rogers, but they wrote it.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'm loving these intros.
Dropping some musical knowledge on your ass.
Even if nobody else is, nobody's getting them, they're good. I like them. Yeah, Bee Gees, eh? Anyway, yes, no Riz, get well soon, Riz. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get the videos we're seeing and you can watch them and not miss any. And then text me separately for all the information I'm about to present to you here today. Follow us on Twitter at Fulltime Banter 7. This is it. This is the home stretch now.
It is.
As it were.
The final frontier.
Near enough 8 solid weeks of non-stop FPL now, right through till the end, and it's going to be hardcore. Yeah, so you better be ready. You better be prepared because it's make or break time. Yeah. He's obviously not, because I asked him twice to send me screenshots of his free hit team, which he's failed to do.
I've written it down. I know what's going on. I've written it down.
But yeah, what we'll be discussing this week is in a little more detail, because if you watched last week's show, we just vaguely went over some theories that people were putting out. For example, just to recap, immediately when the double game week fixtures were presented, people were saying we're going with triple Chelsea, triple City, triple United, and then maybe Watford and Palace or Wolves to fill in the blanks. But that has since changed. Well, for me it has anyway. I'm going to immediately put up these 3 free hit squads that I've been messing around with over the past week for you to have a look at. And these are pretty much the popular choices for people who are free hitting. And incidentally, a couple of facts and figures, just so you've got a bit of context as well. I was surprised, I was telling you on our chat, wasn't I, that of the live teams, which we can say around about 3 million people now, 2.5, 3 million people out of the 6.2 million, only 73,000 people have activated their free hit.
That is slightly disconcerting. I thought this would have been
the big
main week for it, and when you told me that, I've had a bit of a panic and gone, are we doing something wrong?
Well, I'm trying to see it. The positive side of it is that...
You know me, I'm a negative Nelly.
The eternal pessimist. I'm normally not known for being very positive, but I'm seeing it as a positive, that hopefully it's us in this very select bunch who will capitalise over the non-free hitters, and the people playing the wild card is 100,000. So if you combine those two, because some people might be using the other strategy of wild carding now 32 and free hitting for 35. Yeah. So if we could do a combined 170k, it's still not a lot, and there might be more before the weekend. Probably Friday night people might hit the button. But anyway, have a look at these 3 teams. These are 3 free hit squads that I've prepared. The first one, the Mane team, which was the one that I was set on initially. Yeah, we'll talk about other players, but I'll just give you a brief outline of this. I wanted to stick with Mane, got rid of Salah because Mane is hot in form. Yeah, for Liverpool and for Senegal, I think it is he plays for. He's set up goals there, he's scored as well. They came back and won against Mali due to him. But then there's been talk as the week progressed. The second team, the Hazard team. And you know me, I don't like Hazard. Yeah?
Really? Is this a new...
I don't know if I've never mentioned it before. Yeah? But my feelings on Hazard, he's unreliable, but his stats are all there. And you're going to say, well, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. Miguel's certainly going to say that. Let me give you my explanation behind it. The reason I've gone for the Hazard team as well is purely as like a defence. There's a term floating around on Twitter now of swords and shields. Players who are shields, who will help you protect your rank, simply due to the mass number of people who've got the same player in.
So Salah, essentially, is probably the best
Yeah,
example.
and swords, who are the low-owned differentials. So you want a balance in your team. So I'm getting Hazard in because of the sheer number of people who will have him in, and just, the fear of missing out, like if he does haul.
FOMO.
FOMO,
FOMO, affecting the snowflakes, and it's affecting us.
The butterfly effect. So a lot of people are owning him, and they have got 2 easy fixtures on paper, but current form, anything could happen.
No, we'll come on to that in a bit as well, won't we?
Yeah. The final team, the third team, is the Quaynar team. Now, this is an interesting one. I was telling Liam, this one I'm definitely not going with, but it's just to exemplify a point for you all out there. It might be helpful to you. Colin Quaynar of Huddersfield fame is currently on loan at...
Fame? Yeah, I'm going to live till Tuesday.
He's currently on loan at Ipswich Town in the Championship. So he wasn't available in the game as a transfer unless you were using the app on an iPhone. Then you could transfer him in via the app at 4.3 million, the cheapest striker in the game, and use him as bench fodder. Somebody went and contacted official FPL and told them about this little glitch. So now, kindly, they've made it available to everyone. So whatever platform you're using, whether you're online or whatever. So if that's the strategy you wanted to go with, was to go 2 up top and pack your midfield with 5, you could get Quaynar in to save some money there and stick him on your bench. But the second team, the Hazard team, is the one that I am mainly going with. So let's talk about the things that are going on in that team, the sort of strategies and the theories in there, the points to discuss. Basically 3 City players, shall we say, because there's 3 different theories. Some people are going with 3 City attackers. Sterling and Aguero are the obvious ones. You have to get Sterling and Aguero. Yeah. And then the third attacker is the conundrum, because some people are saying Sane is due a game and due a haul. Others are saying David Silva has been most consistent with minutes on the pitch. And some people are going a little left field with Bernardo Silva. Always gets a game but doesn't always get the returns. Alternatively, people are saying Sterling and Aguero, and then either Laporte or Edison. What have you gone, incidentally, then? Tell us about your team.
Well, I will screenshot so that it is up, but for now we'll just have to make do with a good old pen and paper.
Well, on the video it'll be up now, hopefully, yeah?
The magic of television. So I've gone with 3 City players, Aguero, Sterling and Sane for my 3.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and that was more based off, this is basically what Tarek's done is, Tarek's been really methodical about this, and I had a one-night stand and just smashed it out in a night in a panic-induced fury, and then immediately regretted it the next day as soon as I woke up, like a proper one-night stand, really, I'm guessing. So I've gone for Aguero, Sterling and Sane, and that was more based around Chelsea. So my defence for Chelsea, I've got Kepa in instead of Edison because he was a little bit cheaper, and Louise was in my team already, and that was more based on the fact that who did Chelsea play? They play Fulham and Cardiff, the 2nd and 5th worst scorers in the Premier League this season. So if they can't get clean sheets there, they shouldn't get them anywhere.
Yeah, well, if anyone can, Chelsea can screw that up.
Yeah, Sarri ball is just, it's there. So that's why I've gone for Aguero, Sterling, like you said there, the obvious ones, and Sane was my pick of the bunch, although Gudongan at one point was featuring just because of his relative cheapness.
Fernandinho, apparently a lot of their players are back. KDB, Fernandinho and someone else is back in training. So Fernandinho might come back in which case Gundogan won't be in the game. A word of warning and a note which you should realise by now anyway is that even though these teams have got 2 matches in a game week, they're in a short space of time. So no player, with a little asterisk, which we'll talk about, is guaranteed a full 180 minutes over this game week. So you need to be aware of that.
Unless they play for Tottenham, in which case, no subs.
That's the asterisk, Harry Kane, which we'll talk about, Yeah, I mean, so you've gone 3 City attackers. Sane,
Yeah.
if you look at his minutes, if you look at his form, it's absolutely atrocious. You think,
Yeah.
why? But he will inevitably get a game on the basis that Sterling has played near enough full 90 minutes in both England
I
games.
think so, yeah.
Red hot on fire, yeah, alongside Mane, so you've got to have Sterling. Which means Pep may manage his minutes or rest him in one of the games, in which case Mahrez and Sane are going to come in.
Yeah.
So Sane is a good shout, and even against those opponents, even if they get 60 minutes, it's enough time for a City player to do the damage.
Something, yeah. Easily win 5-0, couldn't it? At any
Yeah.
side.
Aguero hasn't been on international duty, but may still, in the previous games, he got 70 and 80 minutes, which is still, again, enough for him. If he gets that in both games, fantastic. And Jesus just hasn't been in form. So Jesus may actually play in the cup games, is the theory, and that seems reasonable, that. So Aguero will play the league games. Moving on then, I've not got Laporte, I've gone for Edison, simply because, I mean, let's talk about that then. Edison or Kepa, the two most popular. The third popular choice is Matt Ryan of Brighton, because...
Going back to my initial...
Yeah, well, if you want to save some money, if you want to go down that route, or even Gaita at Crystal Palace, budget keeper. Palace have a double game week, but one's against Spurs, and the other I can't remember who it is. Tough games, but personally, I'm going for, I've not had a premium keeper for a long time.
No.
Not had one all this season, and most of last season I didn't have one. So I'm splurging the cash.
Splooge.
Yes.
Splooge McDuck.
I'm going for Edison. I trust him over Kepa. Don't trust Chelsea defence. So if you do want to save some money, you might want to go for Kepa. He's about 0.2 cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.4, and Edison is 5.6.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can save 0.2 there. I've stuck with David Luiz, who I already had.
I know, I've done this as well, and again, it's that Chelsea conundrum, isn't it? That it's who they're playing.
Let's talk about them, because I'm going to throw this out right away, which I've mentioned previously. In the reverse fixture with Cardiff away earlier this season, they won 4-1. So, and I captained Alonso. That's why I remember that fixture.
Oh, your clean sheet went.
Yes.
You're only foray into it this season.
Yeah, captain a defender, never again. Yeah. So I don't trust their defence. Hence why I've kept Luiz simply for his attacking potential.
Like we said before, he's the only one you should really be looking at, I think.
Yeah. People are, Azpilicueta is the popular choice, but he's more expensive.
Yeah.
I just can't afford him. And I definitely can't afford two Chelsea. Yeah. So who have you got from Chelsea? Anyone?
Luiz and Kepa.
Kepa.
Like I said,
Sticking with that. Yeah.
If I go to Edison, Sane will go. So keep 3 City, but I lose attacking returns. But maybe getting clean sheets. It's trying to find that balance.
It is, and it's frustrating as well. So that's where we stand with Chelsea. But apart from Hazard, I mean, none of the other Chelsea assets, any of them catch your eye. Barkley did well for England.
Barkley, Hudson-Odoi, I believe Giroud is now third on France's all-time scorers list as well.
But Sarri just won't drop Higuain?
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, going for Chelsea, the more I think about it, the more I'm tempted by a up-front three of Aguero, Kane and Hazard. So I need to... I'll send you another screenshot, mate. I'll send you another one.
No, it's all right.
But Hazard is probably
the only
the more I think about it, the more it does see. Again, it's with the teams that they're playing. You can't...
Yeah, I mean, Hudson-Odoi is a popular choice for the bench, because we'll talk about the bench later. We'll talk about it later, but Hudson-Odoi, I think, is 4.2, 4.3 is one of the cheaper ones.
I think I got him from the bench.
So he's a good option for your bench if you're going cheap. But don't trust Willian, Pedro, definitely not Kovacic. Kante, people still got Kante in at 5.1. If you want to go down that route, I personally think Delafeu at Watford's a better option. Yeah. So that's the Hazard one. The problem with my Hazard team, if you notice when I put it up, without Hazard, if I have Mane, then up front I can afford Aguero, who I already have, Kane and Jimenez of Wolves. But if I want Hazard, then I have to downgrade Jimenez to Troy Deeney. Yeah. Which I'm quite comfortable with, because Watford we've just said they have They have a tough game.
United.
They have United away. Yeah.
Yes.
Or United away, but then they have Fulham at home. So that's the game I'm counting on. So Delafeo at 5.1 or 5.2, 5.2 I think he is worth a good shout. And Troy Deeney as well, 5.9, cheap striker, could get something. And Watford are notoriously tough. It just all depends on whether they want to fight for it in the league or if they're going to rest players for the FA Cup.
I think, on a tangent, I think they should put all the marbles in the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to get as good an opportunity as this for years.
I suppose that's what people are saying.
And they're safe in the league, there's no danger of them being relegated. They should go balls out for the cup.
And likewise for Wolves.
Yeah.
Having said that, there is 5 days in between the cup game and the second league game. So it's not, entirely a risky move. It could pay off. Let's move on then to United players. Talk to us about United.
Yeah, so for my team personally, at the minute, as it stands at the minute, is Rashford and Pogba. I wanted Lindelof in, but I'm 0.1 out, which is why I'm probably going to go back and reassess. I believe you said earlier Lukaku is...
Lukaku
injured.
apparently was injured. He's got a number of injuries. Well, no, one major one. And he was in recovery, but apparently he's had a setback. So it doesn't look like he will feature for the first game at the least.
And that would suggest that Rashford will be doing double duty booty, because I'm not trusting Sanchez and neither should Ole.
Yeah.
So Rashford has a bit of that niggling ankle injury. He's pulled out of the England games over the fortnight, so you would expect him to be maybe not fighting fit, but certainly in a better state.
And if Lukaku's not playing, it should favour him again.
Yeah.
Because the reason he's declined in form recently is because
Lukaku's been banging him in.
Yeah, hogging the ball.
Yeah, which has been nice to see as a United fan. Him actually doing something. So United play Watford and Wolves, don't they? The game I'm worried about is the Wolves one. But again, I think that is massively dependent on if they're going for the league or they're going for the cup.
Yeah.
And from a United perspective, as a fan's perspective, they should go for the cup, definitely, and give United an easy ride. Rashford, he's the only. I think Pogba will stay because he's got the potential for assists and
penalties.
And it's a point for clean sheets in midfield, but it's better than a kick in the nads, isn't it?
Even though recently on penalties he's in poor form as well.
Yeah, well, he takes a run from the centre circle, doesn't he? So it's it's too much time. What are you thinking? You've got Pogba in all of yours, and Lindelof is the other one. Yeah.
My thinking with Pogba is, and the reason he's still there is, obviously he's got the double game week, he's on penalties, he's your talismanic player. Yeah, you could argue there's a couple of others around him, but he's going to be playing both games. But crucially, all the non-free hitters will have Pogba. He's been in their teams, as likewise with Rashford, for a number of weeks.
Yeah.
So if you drop Pogba, you've got to bring in an absolute cert who's going to outscore him.
Yeah.
And there isn't really. The only ones I can think is, like I said, if you went back to a single game week player of Mane or Son or possibly Sane, but there's no guarantees.
And at that price as well, it is a bit of a steal at the minute, really.
Yeah. So safe bet, go with the numbers, because the non-free hitters, the people who haven't planned or not using it, are going to have Pogba. So you want to. I was tempted to drop him. I was tempted. Yeah, but if I drop him, he's not enough to get anyone else.
This is the problem, yeah.
Only Son possibly from Spurs, but Son is knackered. He's gonna, he's played for South Korea again, and he's had 2 tournaments this season now.
Yeah.
And no doubt he'll play, but how effective he'll be, he's going to be absolutely knackered. So I'm going to stick with Pogba for that reason. Lindelof I have in as a United defender. I think, definitely got to have at least one United defence. People have gone for De Gea as well. But again, very expensive option. And obviously I prefer to go with Edison instead. But Lindelof, there was talk of his wife was expecting. So whether he'd play one or both games. But she's actually delivered just yesterday.
Now let's hope he delivers.
Exactly, yes. We could do with some clean sheets.
Hey, all right.
Clean sheets from Lindelof, yeah. Just hoping he's not tired and kept up all night now. That's the other downside of a new baby. Like Kane was. Kane was knackered.
He was knackered, wasn't he?
After his daughter was born.
So you think they could hire enough for a nanny, couldn't they? Build a shed for the baby. Keep him in there till the end of double game week, and then we'll be all right.
Send her off.
Yeah, come on, Victor. Start it out, mate.
But that's the thinking behind that. Gone for Lindelof. Ashley Young is too expensive, even though he's an attacking threat. Luke Shaw is on 9 yellow cards, so could receive a suspension. So he could end up playing the first game, get a suspension, miss the second one. Yeah, so not really worth it. So that's why I've gone for Lindelof. Nice and cheap as well, 5.1, cheaper than Chris Smalling. Yeah. So it's all about, if you have a look on the teams that I've put up, it's absolutely on the dot, 0 in the balance.
Yeah.
Next point, Wolves rotation, we've spoken about briefly.
Yeah, covered it. I think they should be going flat for the cup. The worry is then for the teams in the league. I think you've got to be looking at ones that you guaranteed, ones like, for instance, Doherty's landed in mine.
Right.
Defence at the minute, whether this changes or not by the time this comes out, I don't know. But somebody that you're going to be relying on, and you just know he's going to be there.
Because he's involved with all of Wolves' goals, near enough.
Yeah.
I think it's 70-80% of Wolves' goals he's got involvement in.
Say what?
Seriously, yeah. And the stats
what a
show...
fucking move that was, Liam.
The stats show that throughout the season, prior to international breaks, he has played.
Yeah.
Whether it's been managed, whether he's come off early or whatever, but he has played. The counter argument to resting for the cup is that you want momentum, you want form.
Yeah, this is why they get paid the big bucks, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're going to make those decisions. So I personally, like I said, I would have liked to have had Jimenez alongside Hazard, but I can't afford it. But I think he will play and he will do well.
Yeah, I've also got Jimenez. So my attacking lineup is Aguero, Rashford, and Jimenez as it currently stands. I am pretty happy with that. Like you said, Rashford with the injury to Lukaku, as unfortunate as that is, Rashford will play. Jimenez as well, you know he's going to play. It's the potential for goals. Your
other options were, if you're looking at other Wolves players, is Jota, who's in form, but he's potential rest risk as well, rotation risk. In which case, Moutinho might come into the four.
Is he about 5.4? Moutinho,
something like that, yes.
Is Jota a little bit more expensive? About 6 1 maybe?
We'll find out exactly for you. Since
if it is, I'm pulling them right out spot.
Let's have a look for you.
Normally, we're eyeing Riz normally for this section.
Yeah, Riz knows all the prices of all the players off by now.
Jota's 6.1 there, it says on your team, mate. You've got him in your Quainer team, yes.
The Quainer team is 6.1, and Moutinho is obviously cheaper than that then, isn't he?
5.4, I'm going 5.4.
You're going 5.4? Let's have a look. Sounds about right. Moutinho 5.3. Ooh, not far off. 5.3, 6.6% owned, so very much a differential. Even Jota, 4.7% owned, which I'm surprised about. I mean, they have dropped in form, but those are the ones. Dendoncker is a bench enabler, if you want to go for Dendoncker. He's a lot cheaper and does get games, 4.3. Yeah, only 0.7% owned.
Not too bad.
But Wolves' defence I'd probably stay away from. Yeah. Won't really recommend. We've got Doherty, so attacking potential. Yeah. But generally, I'd stay away from them. Palace players. Let's put Palace and Watford together then. Palace players.
For me, Miljevic is the only one. I think we discussed last week, didn't we? He's on penalty duties.
He is.
And Palace doing all right. Doing all right.
They are, and they're going to try and spoil the party at Spurs in their new stadium, because that is the first...
I fucking hope that happens. As much as I like Spurs, it is an absolute... Kind of tangent? I don't know, say
Go for it.
I think it's a bit of a piss take that this late into the season they've been allowed to move in.
Yeah.
One, if you're a Tottenham fan, I mean, some of the players have actually come out and said, well, Wembley's been our home, and they've actually been doing
They've got used
most
to
of
it,
the games.
Yeah.
They've won there, I think. So it's unfair on them. It's unfair on other teams that they've played already at Wembley, because now, I mean, it could go either way. That Spurs could shit the pot, and Palace could take effects of that being in a new stadium.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, there could be more of an atmosphere. It could be pumped up for the last 5 games that they're at home or whatever it is.
That's what I'm counting on, is that they pumped up and Harry Kane gets a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Harry Kane, we'll talk about him, bit of a differential. But going back to Palace, Milivojevic, 6.3 is a bit pricey. I couldn't fit him into any of my teams. I did want him initially because he's on penalties. Of the 8 goals he scored, 7 are penalties. But here's a little danger point for you to consider. Zaha apparently is not fully fit.
All right.
If Zaha isn't fit and doesn't play, who's going to win the penalties for Milivojevic? Yeah, so that's something to consider.
I'm sure Zaha will go down on the bench, won't he? He'll still find a way.
He will. I mean, Batshuayi will come in. Batshuayi is another cheaper option. A lot of teams are going for Batshuayi as a third striker, 6.5. Yeah, but personally, I'd stay away. Townsend 5.8. But the one I'm looking for, the one who I've got in, who I'm quite excited about, is Schlupp, the defender.
Big Jeff.
Jeff Schlupp, yes. Who is a defender, fullback, but has been playing out of position as part of the left of midfield 3. Out of position, so he's getting attacking returns, and he's only 4.5. Cheap as chips, yeah.
Make a big ass note of that. And
if you'll notice, in all 3 of my teams, Schlupp
I did notice that, to be honest.
So Schlupp is there, playing out of position, 4.5, could get attacking returns, and Roy is a big fan of his. Not much else to be said on Crystal Palace unless you're thinking about Gaita, the keeper.
So Milivojevic, would you get him in if you had money?
If I had the money, it's a toss-up between him and Deulofeu. I'm going to say no, because simply it's just that.
Well, fuck you then.
It's that much. It's that much too much, because it's 6.3 we said, aren't we?
ACDC, touch too much.
Touch too much, yeah. And 6.3, you're going to be taking. That's a lot of money between him and Deulofeu, who is 5.6. Yeah. So 0.7 million is the difference between, a decent striker and a pretty good striker. So for me, I'm going to say no, and especially with the Zaha doubt as well. So for me, no. I've gone for Schlupp instead. Watford, while we're on that point then, as I've mentioned, if I want Hazard, I've got to downgrade Jimenez to Deeney, which I'm fine with. Yeah, Watford are going to make it hard.
They were, Meluran. Yeah, they do raise themselves as well, don't they?
They do.
I think Watford. Yeah. I like Deeney.
Yeah.
I think he don't give a bit of shit, does he?
He does it. He's a nice, straight talking guy. I like him.
Especially when he plays Arsenal.
No cojones.
We knew they'd be alright.
Yeah.
I think of the Watford ones, I think the 2 that you've gone for, and Deeney has featured in mine a couple of times before I settled on Jimenez, purely because of the pricing. I mean, I don't know what tallies are on for goals off the top of my head, who's coming out better.
They're informal. I was telling you a couple of weeks ago, last week's video, all the budget players from Rashford down are bang in form. Absolutely bang in form. So you can't, I'm not too worried. I've got 2 big hitters, Aguero and Kane. I'm not worried about Deeney. If he doesn't return, fair enough. But then I've also got Deulofeu. So the chances are, here's the hope, that when Watford do well and one or the other scores, they're both involved. Yeah, so I've got the assister and the scorer. So hopefully, let's see what happens. Deulofeu, again, initially I was hoping I could get Milivojevic, but I'm happy and fine with Deulofeu. And that's why, if you notice on the Quaynard team that I put up, the 5th midfielder left blank because I had 5.3 in the bank, but there's no decent midfielders at 5.3.
This is the problem, and then you end up thinking, I can upgrade elsewhere with the money. I think that this is what I ended up doing, and that's my team ended up fudged because of it.
Any other points on that before we move on to...
No, nothing really, no.
Right, move on to Kane then. Yeah, big Harry Kane, which a lot of people haven't thought about, haven't considered, because initially I was thinking about, very early on, I was thinking about Lukaku, because I wanted a differential, big game player, and I think with Lukaku being out, Kane is going to be the one. 3.3% ownership, live ownership, that means of the team still playing.
It's crazy.
It is madness, isn't it? And for a 1 week punt, nothing to lose.
No, I've wanted him in for quite a long time, to be honest, but due to money, just not been able to afford without sort of hemorrhaging it elsewhere or taking more hits than I don't want to take.
Well, this is the point in question, is hopefully the non-free hitters will not be able to crowbar him in.
No, unless that was the -8, I would even say for a couple of them, because it's 12.5, isn't he?
Yeah, if you're thinking of getting big players in, you'd inevitably have to downgrade a midfielder.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 transfer move to get Kane or anyone in like that.
So Spurs, the fixtures are good. New stadium, like you've just said, probably going to be up for it.
And he's near enough going to play both full games in their entirety.
I would imagine so. They're a different proposition with him in. And if you look on the bench, Llorente, as much as I used to like him years ago, he's not the player that he was. There's nobody there that can replace him.
Yeah.
They are a one-man attack, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really. So you know that he's going to be getting minutes, and the potential for sticking him in the onion bag is always there.
I mean, even though Son has been playing ahead of him, he's been playing deeper, but he's on penalties as well. So, and even I know people are going to be saying, well, Spurs are playing Liverpool, top 6, it's, tough game, stay away. That's what a lot of people will be doing. But here's some stats for you. First of all, Harry Kane likes scoring against Liverpool. Yeah, scored 3 in the last 4 against us.
Go on, Harry.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted Mane, because I believe Mane will score against Spurs. Yeah, I think he'll do that. The other thing, we've got bloody Martin Atkinson. I think that's the right referee. Martin Atkinson is the referee for that game, who hates Klopp and or Liverpool. So count on a
Spurs. The earth, Martin.
Count on a Spurs penalty. Yeah, I'm absolutely banking on a Spurs penalty. Yeah,
celebrations when he does it.
So Martin Atkinson is a clown. And then like I say, second game, Crystal Palace at home in the brand new stadium. Everyone's going to be buzzing. It can't possibly go wrong, can it? It can't possibly. He's a differential. Nobody else is going to have him, so I've got him. Yeah. We've got last couple of minutes. Let's finish off then. We've finished all the main talking points. The last one left is we usually cover captaincy options. This week there is only one question for captaincy option. Is it Sterling or is it Aguero? Any thoughts? Have you looked into it, considered it, consulted the tea leaves?
I'm more of a coffee drinker.
Well, people, morons consult coffee beans. Not to suggest you are, but there's morons who consult.
Yeah, fucking corrected that quickly.
Coffee beans as well now. Yeah.
I made my first coffee in work the other day, just so you know. I've only been there 8 months. But anyway, Sterling. I think my gut, heart, head, liver, whatever it is, says more Sterling. Even though he's played 2 games more than Aguero in the break. Aguero's not doing anything. Aguero's not even travelled anywhere, has he? Unless he's got back home to see his missus, I don't know.
He went to North America. Can't remember exactly where. He went to North America for something.
Thomas Cook over here, no?
Been stalking him.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the extra. Say neither of them do anything. There's the potential of an extra clean sheet point.
Yeah.
Being in midfield. I know that's a really minute thing to
hang
on.
Goals get an extra point for midfielders as well.
There is that, and I think I'd be interested to see who has more assists out of either of them.
Sterling.
So the potential for assists is there more. So Sterling, I think, is going to edge it for me. What about yourself, T?
For myself, I've flip-flopped between the two. I was initially on Sterling. I said Sterling is red hot on fire. He scored a hat-trick for England. He scored a hat-trick in the game before that for City that I missed out on. It was going to be Sterling all day long. Then I'm thinking, okay, well, he's played the 2 full games. He is going to get rested. That still isn't a good enough argument because even in one game, even in 60 minutes against either one of those opponents...
If he gets a hat-trick, you've
stuffed, aren't you? But on the flip side, for Aguero, had a rest, no international games... the majority of free hitters are captaining, and I say up to 60 to 70% will be captaining Aguero.
Really? Oh, fuck.
Yes. But that's why I switched to Aguero, but then there's still a nagging doubt in my mind because I've captained him, I've had him for a number of weeks, and I've captained him and he's let me down. He's blanked in a lot of games because he started playing, Pep and City have started playing the Liverpool system where Aguero is playing the Firmino role. He's dropping in and the wingers are running in ahead of him, like Salah Mane.
Yeah.
So he's not getting the touches in the box, touches and shots in the box. Sterling is ahead. Yes. So, Miguel, specifically for you, I make these videos and I put all these points, Miguel, on the assumption that you are able to think for yourself. So, you know, I don't really want to have to speed food you. Speed food? Spoon feed you, yeah? But my captain will be one of either Aguero or Sterling, yeah? I haven't decided yet. I'm going to decide on Friday night / Saturday morning.
He's going to be Hazard.
It's not going to be Hazard.
He's just jerking you around. He's going to be Hazard.
Yeah. I'm going to see what happens. At the moment, it's on Aguero. It could well switch to Sterling. Okay? I haven't decided. So sway me. Tell me, talk to me, yeah? That's about it. Unless anyone has any other pressing matters or questions that they'd like to get into us.
Please do.
Yeah, but aside from that, I can't think of much else. Valerie, let's talk about Valerie. Southampton fullback, scored against United, scored against someone else. Was 3.9 million when I got him in, very early on in the international break, because he was rising in price. He's gone up to 4 million, still fantastic value, and you could get him and you can actually play him, but he's going to be first on my bench. Yeah, he only has a one game. Southampton only have the one game, but fantastic asset at 4 million.
Yeah, and I think the risk as well based on that is that your ones like Connolly seems to be a popular choice because 3.8. I think Simpson as well at Bournemouth. You're going to have to watch them that they suddenly don't have a price jump with everybody getting them in for
Joe
a free
Connolly of Cardiff and Simpson of Bournemouth. 3.8, 3.9, both of them. They are due to go up. Somebody's going up tonight. Anderson is dropping tonight. Yeah.
Anderson can just fuck off.
So I need to get him out tonight to get one of these midfielders, possibly Delafeu, in just to make sure I don't lose any value. That's about it. We finish on there?
Yeah, go for it.
Hopefully it's been informative. Hopefully you watched the damn video. Yeah? And hopefully you have a good, cracking 100 point plus. That would be absolutely fantastic. If we've got 100 point plus game week 32. If you're not free hitting, quick one before we finish then. If you're not free hitting, triple captain somebody. Sterling or Aguero. Yeah? That's how you'll do the damage to us. Thank you very much. Bye bye.